Hello, traders and investors. Steve Gans here. It is the weekend of February 8th and doing the weekend update. This is coming to you from Maui this week. We're at the Westin here for a week. So we just wanted to get everyone updated on the market. So we take a look here. As I mentioned in last week's weekend update, my expectation was potentially a pullback. And my pullback, I was calling it right here in the 60-30 range, which is exactly where we pulled back to on Friday. Now, where do we go from here? It's not out of the question that we could come lower down into this trend line, and then we need to see if this is going to hold. We're going to have two things that are going to come together here. There's going to be this support line here and the uptrending channel that we've been in. Those two things are going to come together right here around the 5,900 mark. So if we do continue down, I would expect that 5,900 mark to probably be the next line of defense. To the plus side, we can see that for the most part, the up days have a little bit higher volume than our down day did, but our down day was Friday. You don't often get higher volume on those on a Friday. But anyhow, so that's what we're looking like there. Let's take a look now at the volatility index, the VIX, see what that looks like. So VIX is up a little bit, but still pretty darn low. Overall, not something that sends off any bells yet at this point. VIX is okay for us. SPX, again, might come a little lower, but it's holding up, I think, in that channel. Then let's take a look at RUT. RUT also, as I had mentioned, I would expect if it pulled back, I was expecting it to come back right to this exact spot of around 2275. And that is where that support resistance level has been previously. We did drop through it for a short bit here, quickly rebounded, actually made a slightly higher high there. But again, my expectation was to either chop sideways or maybe a little pullback here. We did get that pullback. And again, that one consolidates on the uptrend line and on this other support line of around 2275. So we have broken through that before. It's not out of the question. We might break through that again. We'll have to see how this handles it. But overall, I think, again, we're seeing a little bit of increased volatility, but nothing dramatic just yet. And we're over halfway through earnings season, which is a good sign as well. So let's look at the volatility index here for the RUT. And volatility is not going up much here in RUT either. So at this stage, I'm not seeing any real signs of danger, but I don't see that we're necessarily going to new highs here either. I would expect a chop sideways or maybe a little bit of further drift down at this point. So that wraps up the weekend update here for the weekend of February 8th. If you find this sort of thing to be helpful, please make sure that you like, subscribe, give me any comments if you will. I read all of those. I'll look for those also. Now, those of you that are also in the alert service, let's cover current positions. So this position right here, this butterfly that expires in about 2 weeks, 13 days. So this is working great right now. So I do have an order out there to close this trade. I can hover over this and I can see that that order is out there at $3. I'm not sure where that's trading right now. I'm going to guess it's about $3.50, $3.60, somewhere in there. So this could potentially close itself out on Monday for a decent profit, 15% range or so. This trade is holding up great. This trade, again, butterfly trades. I love butterflies. This trade was entered into in a higher volatility environment, which allowed us to get a much better entry into this trade. And therefore, I'm looking to milk this a little bit further. I see no reason that I can't maybe pull 30, 35% out of this one just because I was able to put it on in a more favorable environment. Now, this one on Pru, not sure what's going to happen here. Again, this was an earnings trade, and I just haven't had great luck with earnings trades recently. I know people wanted to see some, so I picked a couple. But I'll continue to manage this. I may end up having to roll this out. This expires here in a couple of weeks, so if Pru does not pop up into where it might be a break-even trade or potentially a profitable trade, I may end up rolling it out in time because I do think it is a good company fundamentally. So I do think that rolling it could ultimately end up in diminishing the loss here or getting into a slightly profitable trade. SQ, I got to admit, I'm having second thoughts here on SQ, this leap. I may end up pulling the plug on this next week. The thing with the leap is that you want to get into that trade and it needs to make a move in the right direction within a month or two, which I'm longer than that right now in this trade. It started off really good, but then it's just stalled and pulled back. And because you're paying to hold this trade, you're paying theta decay. If it hasn't done what I want it to do in a couple of months, and this trade is a couple of years out, this doesn't expire till 27. But the fact that I'm having to pay theta decay on this on a daily basis, if it doesn't move up quickly here early in the week, I'll probably just be pulling the plug on it and just taking a scratch, look for another opportunity. FTNT continues to be a powerhouse. They announced earnings, gapped up significantly, rolled out my short puts on this again. Once those short puts expire in 41 days, if we're still above our, I think it was around the 99 or whatever is where this is rolled to now. If we're still above that point, I'm looking at about a $4,200 profit in there and another opportunity to roll those puts again, still seeking assignment as part of the wheel process. So again, that's it for this weekend. All of you that are seeing this, if you have an interest in the alert service, I'll put a link down below. If you find this interesting, again, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.